Hey guys, this is Gray Wolf 556 here, and I got a text message from an old friend of mine that he has a 21-year-old son that was just thinking about getting a concealed carry permit, and basically he asked me what would I suggest for his first gun. And basically what I told him is first thing he needs to do is take a class. Since he's never shot a gun before, he should take a class just to learn the basics of handling a firearm. And I also told him that if there is a range that will rent firearms, he can go and try out different ones. But in thinking about that, I came to the conclusion that there's so many different types of firearms out there. It can make you crazy if you've never been involved in the system before. So I figured I would go over some of the more common types of firearms real quick here. So just to let you know, everything here has been cleared. There is no ammo except for these dummy rounds that are inert. I got a 380. I guess I don't need a 380. Oh, this is a 9mm and a 38 special. So anyways, I'm going to go over some of the basic types of firearms that there are, and we'll go from there. So the first thing I come to is this cowboy gun. It's a replica of a Colt 1873 Colt single action army. And what this is, as the name implies, it's a single action, so you have to cock the hammer to pull the trigger, or to get it to fire. So if you just go ahead and pull the trigger, it's not going to fire. So what you do is, it's an old-fashioned cowboy gun basically, and cock the hammer and it shoots. And you have to do that for each round. And there are 5 rounds. It has a loading gate here that you have to use to load it 1 round at a time. So you click it back 2 clicks, and now your cylinder will spin. Close the loading gate, cock the hammer, and fire. Okay, so that's number 1. That's a single action revolver. Second thing I have here is a double action revolver. As you can see, this is 7 shots. This is a Smith & Wesson 686. It's also a .357 Magnum. And the thing about a double action revolver is you can shoot it. And again, let me just double check. Okay, there are no rounds in here. You can fire it double action, or you can cock the hammer, and now you see where the trigger is. It's pulled way back into the trigger guard, and you'll have a lot softer trigger pull. But once again, once you do that, it brings you back to double action. So you can cock it, shoot, and then go back to double action. So that's a double action revolver. Next thing we have here is a double action, single action semi-automatic. And before I forgot to mention, there are basically 2 types of handguns. There are revolvers and semi-autos. So this is a double action, single action. So it performs in both actions here. So I've got the slide pulled back on this one here. So you can fire it, you load the magazine, cock the hammer, and now you see that the trigger is pulled way back. We have a soft trigger pull, but I can also go ahead, and you see where the trigger is there, shoot a double action. And on the semi-automatics, after the last round is fired, your slide should lock to the rear. What you do is you use this release here to release the magazine. It drops out. You pop a new one in, rack the slide, and you can either use the decocker here to lower the hammer safely, or just leave it in single action. I like to lower the hammer and carry it that way. That way it takes a lot to pull that trigger. So the next thing I have here is a single action only semi-automatic pistol. And with this one here, as I pull the trigger, you'll see that nothing happens. So I have to either cock the hammer if I have a round in the chamber already and I can fire it, or rack the slide, and now I'm in single action, and every successive shot as the round goes out, the slide will rack, round goes out, and you just keep until you run out of bullets or stop the threat. What's particular about this firearm is I've got it cocked and locked in the single action mode, and I have a manual safety. So I have to defeat the manual safety in order to fire this firearm. In order to do that, I just lower this lever here, and it is ambidextrous. So for people like me that are left-handed, I can just pop that down with my thumb instead of having to reach over and do that like I've had to do with other guns. So I've got the safety on, and you can see I'm pulling the trigger and there's nothing going on. It's not firing. Pop the safety off, pull the trigger, and it fires. Okay, and the last thing we have here is a striker fired. There is no hammer like you've got on here, on your DASA or your single action. We've got the hammer here. The striker is an internal, basically an internal firing pin. So you'll see that there's nothing in the back of the firearm here. And basically what you do is rack the slide. You've got a round now in the chamber, and whenever you're ready to use it, you just pull the trigger. And each successive round will come out just the same way. It'll automatically cock it and fire as you pull the trigger. Again, as with all semi-automatics, as you come to the last round, it should automatically lock in place. Drop your magazine, insert a new mag, either rack the slide or you can use the slide release and go to work. So that's basically it. Like I said, I just wanted to go over the basic types of firearms that there are. I don't think I've seen anything like this on the internet, so I thought I'd put that out there, and we'll see how it goes. I hope this helps somebody. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, I thank you for your time. Take care. Be safe.